Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. That's me, by the way. Thanks, everybody, for liking and subscribing and all the rest of it. And don't forget your comments down below. Any requests? And I've had a request today from Lenny the Goatman, and he's specifically requesting a poem by Richard Lovelace, which I will recite after the story today about a poor man called Lenny Scott. Now, Lenny Scott had been a prison officer at a HMP Alt course in the Liverpool area, and during his duties in the year 2020, he discovered a mobile phone, an illicit mobile phone, in the cell of a man called Elias Morgan. Now, Elias Morgan was, at the time, conducting an improper affair with one of the hostesses at HMP Alt course, a supposed prison officer by the name of, what was her damn name now? Sarah Williams. Sarah Williams and Elias Morgan were, according to the records on the phone, conducting some kind of illicit relationship. Just another one of the hostess brigade, the backscuttlers. Yeah, who are you going to call? The backscuttlers, yeah. So anyway, Elias Morgan was extremely angry at this, tried to bribe Lenny Scott and threatened his life. Indeed, shortly after the discovery of the illicit mobile phone, which was reported and Morgan was dealt with, as was indeed Sarah Williams. But he'd threatened to kill him, you see. And Lenny Scott called the police. He said it had been reported to him that there was a strange vehicle parked outside his house, obviously watching the property, and that Elias Morgan, the prisoner, had correctly described his house, told him where it was, described his wife and 3 children, and Elias Morgan repeated the threat that he would wait and bide his time, but he would eventually kill Lenny Scott, which he subsequently did. Shot Lenny Scott 6 times. He has now been found guilty. Elias Morgan has been found guilty and will be sentenced on Tuesday. So further reports on that on Tuesday, no doubt. It's not uncommon for prisoners to threaten to kill officers. I had a number of death threats when I was in. One, which I took reasonably seriously, was from the IRA. I'd manhandled one of the IRA. I didn't know who he was. He was on D-Wing. And it's recounted in my first book, Volume 1. You can get a copy down below. There's a link. Also put a link down below to the Daily Telegraph article concerning the murder of Lenny Scott in Skelmersdale. So you can read the Daily Telegraph report. But as I was saying, the IRA actually said words pretty much the same to me. We know exactly where you live. We know about your wife. We know about your child. And if you don't back off, we're going to deal with you. Well, I didn't work full time on D-Wing. I was only there on occasions, mainly because the staff were a little bit strange to me. There's a way to deal with prisoners, and that wasn't the way I was dealing with prisoners. Just give them what they're entitled to, treat them with a degree of respect. But when I say get in your cell, you get in your cell. Or when I say you're going to get your cell searched, that's what's going to happen. No ifs, no buts. However, that's not how it worked on D-Wing, and the IRA threatened to kill me. But I still did my job, which you had to do. Otherwise, it was a threat to the security of the prison, which indeed it turned out to be, because the following week, the same IRA man who I had manhandled was parading around on the roof of Wormwood Scrubs, smashing tiles to bits, and parading with a big tricolour, the Irish tricolour, the flag of Ireland, dressed up like a fake soldier. It was just strange. But the staff had allowed that to happen because they wouldn't allow me to search his cell. I was also threatened that I would be killed by the Goyt Valley murderer. He was in Strangeways and in the hospital cell. I think he was diabetic. And we were moving him from Strangeways to Risley. And he was in a strip cell because he'd kicked off. No clothes on, just a plastic pot, a blanket, and that was it. So I went to his cell and said, right, I get you some clothes. You go into Risley. I'm not going to Risley, he said, threw in a few expletives. Said, forget that. Said, what's the size of your shirt? What's the size of your waist? I'm not. Anyway, give me a load of rubbish. So I had to guess. I mean, he weighed about 18 stone, this fellow. He was about 6'1", big, bulky bastard, but fat, you know. Anyway, I got him some clothes. I guessed his neck size was 17 and his waist, I guessed at being 40. So I put the clothes in his cell and said, right, you get yourself dressed. You're going in about half an hour. I'm not going. So anyway, the transport arrived to take the Goyt Valley murderer to Risley, and he refused. So I said to the escorting officers, I said, you just stand back a minute. I said, I'll bring him out the cell and hand him to you. I said, open the back door of your vehicle, he's going in there. So I opened his cell door, snatched this fat bastard by the top of his head, his hair, gripped him, and ran him out of the cell and threw him bodily into the back of this. As he's going in there, he's saying, I'll murder you. I'll come back and murder you. I don't care if it takes 20 years. I'm going to kill you. Seriously. He died in prison. So he never got back to murdering me. Fancy that. It's that time of day when I'm going to read you a poem, folks. I've got a special, as I said, a request by the Goat Man, Larry the Goat Man. He wants me to read a poem by Richard Lovelace, To Althea from Prison. Quite apt when you think that this is Tales from the Jails. Yeah. Here we go. When love with unconfined wings hovers within my gates, and my divine Althea brings to whisper at the grates, when I lie tangled in her hair and fettered to her eye, the birds that wanton in the air know no such liberty. When flowing cups run swiftly round, with no allaying Thames, our careless heads with roses bound, our hearts with loyal flames. When thirsty grief in wine we steep, when healths and draughts go free, fishes that tipple in the deep know no such liberty. When, like committed linnets, I with shriller throat shall sing the sweetness, mercy, majesty, and glories of my King, when I shall voice aloud how good he is, how great should be, enlarged winds that curl the flood know no such liberty. Stone walls do not a prison make, nor iron bars a cage. Mine's innocent and quiet take that for an hermitage. And if I have freedom in my love, in my soul am free. Angels alone that soar above enjoy such liberty. To Althea from Prison by Richard Lovelace. That was composed in the year 1642. And yes, folks, you've guessed it. It's that dreaded time. That's the song dinger, folks. And I'm going to sing a song. It was recorded by Paul Robeson, so I'm going to do it in a kind of a Paul Robeson style voice. You know, it won't be nothing like Paul Robeson, will it? Well, the goat's not looking forward to it. Here we go. This is a song called Trees. Are you sitting comfortably? Take my hat off for this. Oops, there's the baldy head, folks. What's happening to my hair? I think somebody nicks it when I'm asleep, you know. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. There you go. If you like that, A1, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m, Arsful Alargactyl. Tales from the Jails.